Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories throughout the Carolinas. Our story today comes from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, Dead 8-year-old boy weighed 18 pounds, grandmother charged with manslaughter. I'll provide you with a summary here, and I'll place a link to a few of the full articles in the description box. So our story today is about this woman. Her name is Janine Bellinger, 53 years old and a resident of Fayetteville. Well, she was arrested last week and charged with involuntary manslaughter after a child was found dead in her home. According to reports, and this is from the Fayetteville Police Department, their Facebook page, on April the 15th of this year, police from the Fayetteville Police Department, along with emergency personnel, responded to a call regarding a 7-year-old child who was not breathing. It says 7-year-old in the report, but later the coroner clarified that the child was indeed 8 years old. When emergency personnel arrived, they found the child in question along with 7 other children in a closet in the home. In fact, the report indicates there were a total of 8 children and 6 adults living in the home. The child in question was pronounced dead at the scene. The deceased child was a twin, and he lived at the home with 7 other children who I just mentioned were found in the closet with the door shut. This particular child had cerebral palsy, and he required a feeding tube for his nutrients. It was reported that Bellinger was the grandmother, and she had primary custody of the kid since April of 2017. It was also reported that the father was deceased and the mother lived somewhere in Florida. I have to admit that I'm just a little bit confused here, and I'm wondering just what is defined as a closet. Because it seems to reason that if the grandmother called the police for help with this child, she would have taken the child out and separated the child from the 7 other children in the home. It's difficult for me to understand why this child was still in the closet with 7 other children when the emergency personnel arrived. Why was the door closed? I'm just totally confused. And then again, it makes you wonder, maybe the door was closed because she knew that child was already dead. It was reported that this particular child had been seen 4 times in the past by emergency personnel to replace the feeding tube. So this was an ongoing problem for him. This was the only means of him getting any food, and it was an ongoing problem with his feeding tube. And with 6 adults in the home, I wonder how come no one noticed that the child was so small that he was continuing to lose weight, and that he most likely wasn't getting enough food to eat. A neighbor who did not want to go on camera, well, she said the coroner carried the child out in a small box he held in his hand, and it seemed as if he was holding a baby. In fact, the coroner determined that the child weighed 18 pounds and that he died from starvation. I went back and I did some research, and the average weight of an 8-year-old child is between 51 and 64 pounds. This child weighed 18 pounds. He was seriously undernourished. And again, the cause of death was determined to be starvation. And this woman was probably very overwhelmed. We're not sure how much help she was having with 8 children in the home, and with one of them needing a lot of care. She was probably overwhelmed and doing the very best she could. Definitely not any excuse for starving a child. It was also reported that none of the other children were getting any medical care, and none of them were in school. It makes you wonder just what the heck those 5 other adults were doing. And then again, where was social service? Were they even involved in what was going on in this home? So Ballinger was arrested on November the 1st and charged with involuntary manslaughter. She was given a $25,000 unsecured bond, and she has since bonded out of jail. This is really a very sad case, but it just speaks volume. We need to know, and we need to acknowledge when we're overwhelmed, even when it has to do with our own children and our own grandchildren. Obviously, Bellinger, and we don't really understand her state of health, but it's obvious that she needed help, caring for these children. And she was probably doing the very best she could, but you could tell that it was just not enough. I just don't understand how none of the neighbors ever made a call to social services, and maybe there's a lot more to this picture that we just don't understand. And that's all I have for you right now. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this story. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And if you click on this notification bell right here, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.